What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's different again. That's all I have to say about that. Today we are going to be deep diving on the new Glossier Ultralips. These are their newest Trulies. Not that they tell a rep that they're coming out with anything. I have to find out through their Instagram just like everybody else. I'll go into detail, but you know, we used to get really advanced notice on these things. We even used to get PR, but apparently not anymore. Only TikTokers get PR. I'm not bitter, I'm just 34. Anyway, I picked up 3 shades. Full disclosure, as a rep, I get $30 worth of credit every month on their website, so I got these at a discount, but I did pay a little bit of my money for them. I got the shades Villa, Ember, and Lucite. I also have the entire collection of Generation G lips. That is their older, much older, and they did reformulate them and re-release them, but that's still been a couple of years ago, but their original lip formula, and I'm going to be swatching these against those for reference, the ones that I think are relevant to these shades. And that was a matte, very dimethicone based lip formula, and this is very much a tinted balm. So I'm gonna start by putting them all on, swatching them for you, describing them, and we'll go into the price, the claims, and everything like that, swiggity swatch them, and then I'm going to give you guys all my thoughts on this release. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, we're starting with Lucite, the lightest of the 3 that I bought, and it is described as a soft peony pink. It is definitely lighter than my natural lip color, but not milky. That's what's so interesting about it, is that I don't think that it's milky. It's not doing anything where it like sits in the lines of my lips in a funny way, but that's also because I have very, very light lips, so I'm not totally sure how it would work on deeper skin tones, but for me, it just doesn't seem milky. And by milky, I just mean, you know, that it's got like white in it. It's milky, you know. It's very, very pretty. They feel extremely cushiony, nourishing, lovely. I mean, the TLDW on this is that they're very, very nice and I like them very, very much. Okay, next we have Villa, hello, which is described as a dusty rose. And when you buy these originally, like when you open them, they have a little G impressed on the top of them, but that goes away pretty quickly, obviously. My mirror's over here now. Like, look at how that color looks like it's gonna be a little much, you know? It's like, does that really go? But when you get it all on, it's almost like it adjusts to your undertones a little bit. And unlike previous lip releases from Glossier, that color is very much there. I wouldn't say the Generation G was like completely invisible, but you could really, really like build it up and still end up with very, very sheer color, at least in the second iteration. That color is also wonderful. And I should say, if this is your first time on my channel, don't for a moment think that I'm one of those people who can just pull off any lip color. These undertones are pretty darn good for someone as kind of neutral cool as I am. I also did go for neutral to cool on my makeup look with these in mind today. So really, really dig that. And it is, again, a really, really comfortable formula. It's so nice and like glossy, balmy, healthy, bouncy looking. And the pigment is so even on these two. I'm not sure about all of them, but on this one, on these two, I feel like you can just slam it on and the pigment is like, I don't feel like I have to go in and get all tedious. They feel really good. They don't have like the liquid lip balm feel where they're like outrageously slippy, but they're nice and slippy. Like they have a really, really good presence on the lips that isn't syrupy. It doesn't feel like oily, greasy. All right, and finally, we have Ember, which is described as a deep mauve. And for those people who actually get angry at me for saying mauve instead of mauve, I'm just going off of taupe. Do you say top? I don't say top, I say taupe. And I say mauve. Sorry. Hello, my camera died. It's never at an opportune time, but it was an inopportune time. But I just put this on and this is it at like full saturation. And boy, is that a nice shade. But the pigment is a little bit less consistent on this one as it gets deeper. And so when I do want to shear it out or blot it or anything, I feel like you kind of have to be a little more careful. But I feel like it's worth it because it's so stinking pretty. And even on someone as fair as me, it does look at home but it's quite a mood. It's quite a mood, and I really dig that mood. I do. I dig it very, very muchly. You know, I also have the Vinylic lips. Maybe I should swatch those with this as well. So I'm going to put Villa back on just because it's more comfortable. Not comfortable, they're all comfortable, but it's just an easier thing for me to mindlessly wear on camera and not be afraid that I'm going to like smudge it somewhere. And we'll get to swatching the other shades. Ah, damn it. Really thought that that was gonna work out for me. These three are the new ones from Glossier. I'm gonna make words now. Lucite, Villa, Ember. Then I swatched the old Generation G. Well, they're not old, they're the newer Generation G. So this is Like, which is a cool toned pink. This is Cake, which is sort of an orangey tan. And then this is Jam, which is very much like a raspberry berry purple thing. Then I have three of the Glossier Play Vinylic lips. And of those, this is Genius, Blow Up, and what's that one called? Bank. And then, I don't know, just for good measure, I was curious. This is my favorite Cosmetics, what's it called? Lip Cushion Tinted Luminizer, and this is in Venetian Rose. It's just the most perfect dialed in color, and I would say that it's like right in between those two. So let's discuss, are you kidding me? Okay, let's discuss the pricing and whatnot. So it says that, and I don't have my glasses in here, I'm just gonna have to wing it. It says the cashmere sweatpants of lipstick. What it is, the rich moisture of a balm, the sheen of a gloss, and the buildable color of a lip tint without the hassle of layering multiple products. I will say, I did used to always put a lip gloss on top of the Generation G lip. I loved how it looked, and so they're right. It is kind of accomplishing two things with one product. It's one tube, one step, one ultra lip. Why it's special? The balmy formula is a standout. It feels luxe, plush, and so comfortable. Like pulling on a buttery soft, well-loved cashmere sweater and immediately cocoons lips in smoothing, shining color. Our exclusive enriched blend of 4 molecular weights of hydrating hyaluronic acid draws in and holds on to moisture like a magnet for revitalized lips. I mean, I will say, I've definitely been played by hyaluronic acid formulas in the past, and this doesn't feel like that. Dermatologist tested, formulated without fragrance, lipstick packaging made from up to 50% recycled plastic. So this is what the component looks like. It is pink, obviously, and an improvement, I would say, on the Generation G, but the same size, and yeah, a little bit different. Like the lid starts here instead of here. It's a lot less heavy. This is like really heavy. I think it's because, nope, they're both metal on the inside. So the component looks the same more or less on the inside, but this is just, I don't know. To my hand, the Generation G feels heavier. Maybe it's because there's more product. Let me see. Hey, that's so tiny, 0.1, 0.1. They're the same amount of product, so. There you go, $18, and I'm pretty sure that's the same price as the Generation G lip as well. This comes in 9 shades. Other than the ones that I got, there is Fete, which is a watermelon red, Cachet is a walnut brown, Coupe is blood orange, Trench is toffee brown, Portrait is cherry blossom pink, Vesper is a rich fuchsia. So they do, I feel like, still cover a lot of the shades that were in the original Generation G, and then they kind of add on top of it. Because I think there were only 6 in the original Generation G. Yeah, that all said, why don't we jump into my final thoughts, I guess. I will make no bones about it. I love this product. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's incredibly comfortable to wear. It is so pretty. And the other thing that I really like about these is in the past, I have had, especially when it comes to the Glossier Play release, a huge complaint that Glossier was always very, very good at making great formulas, innovative formulas, and their colors were just weird. And I don't mean weird like blue. I mean, they just didn't didn't have proper undertones that looked good on skin. And of course, I'm not saying that they looked bad on everybody. It was just like, you would think that I would be able to wear like one shade in the Vinylic lips, and they were all weird. You know, it was like the nude was too orange, and then the brown was too purple, and then the berry was too like red, and you know what I mean? They all just had some kind of like thing where it had zigged when it should have zagged, and I felt like it was just the thing that it kept falling flat on. I couldn't recommend a single one of those, even though I loved the formula. So this release, from the look of it and just from my super trained artistic eye, it just looks like they really went the extra mile and dialed these colors in. They're really, really nuanced and beautiful, and they look like colors that have a little bit of character, and they're not super, super straightforward. And then they also, you know, seem to work on skin. They're just not, they're not like standalone crayon colors that, you know, you either like or you don't. It's like, does it actually enhance your complexion, I guess. Do I recommend these at $18? Absolutely. I mean, all of this is like straight down the middle of what I would expect from Glossier. I think it's a really beautiful product, and I think that they did take the best parts of the Vinylic lip and the best parts of the Generation G and put them together in one delivery system, and it's very, very nice. It's super, super plush feeling, and I'm happy with the shades that I got too. I don't really want more shades than this. I think that these are the ones that probably will look the best on me in this collection. A lot of them do lean warm or are just for different undertones. The thing that I cannot get out of this video without mentioning, and honestly, it's like several things, and that is, first of all, we should add the context that, like, yeah, we're talking about Glossier again, and that is an interesting weather pattern right now, considering the context that Glossier lived in 2020, having to do with Black Lives Matter and Out of the Gloss, the Instagram account and everything, and kind of the conversation that was started there. And then, you know, the contextualization of all of the other brands that people, you know, criticized for other things or realized that there was a lot they didn't know, things like that. And also people just generally getting exhausted with being angry about things that they felt like they really couldn't do anything about. And I just kind of want to package this all within the context that, like, we still remember, and we're still like watching and waiting and seeing as far as Glossier is concerned, because, you know, yes, they wrote me this email and everything that they met with a bunch of the people that were, you know, involved in all that. They're trying to do the best they can, and some of the expectations that some, like the demands that they had were pretty unreasonable, like the Out of the Gloss account and stuff like that. And a lot of people really felt like they couldn't say anything like critical or nuanced about that at the time, because it was very like black and white at the time, and not to, you know, no pun intended. It just felt very binary, like if you said anything bad, then you were the enemy kind of thing. And at the end of the day, like, I'm in this weird position where it's like, if I'm promoting something on my channel, I'm essentially like selling it to you. And that put me in a weird position where I didn't feel like I could talk about Glossier in an unbiased way. Even if my brain was unbiased, I didn't feel like it could ever come off unbiased. And so I feel like adding that context it's essential. Also, I feel like something really shifted with and I can only speak for myself, so I will say my relationship with the company since that. And that was when it felt like it shifted, was with that kind of whole, again, weather shift that happened with Glossier in 2020. And for me, I wrote them an email, like I said, and it wasn't even an email that was like, what are you gonna do about this? It was like, what should I do about this? This is a really, really weird thing for your reps to have to navigate on behalf of the company. What do you recommend doing? And they, you know, they really, I don't know. It was an email that felt like it was written by a human, but it didn't really necessarily tell me anything firm. It was just like, you know, do what you think kind of thing. And it may or may not have said something like, you know, we appreciate you either way, whatever. But I can't help but notice that no one wants to talk to me anymore. I don't get PR anymore. I still make them money all the time, because there are Glossier products that I absolutely love, mainly their Boy Brow. I use it like every single day. And I don't necessarily have anything super like stake in the ground personal against them, but I do feel like maybe because of all that, they all, and it probably wasn't just about me, but they kind of pulled their cards close to their chests, and they're kind of reorging, I feel like, because I emailed them and I'm like, hey, am I gonna like, you know, are you guys gonna send PR out at any time soon? Am I still like, are we doing this, you know? And it'll be silence for a while. They'll email me back within about like 3 days a lot of times. I'm like, hey, you know, we're working on it, you know, we'll have some news for you soon. And they're really, really nice about it. But like, to add context here, a couple of years ago, and you know, this is definitely like, I have to include my ego in this. Like, hello, hi, Kaki's ego is part of the story. But, you know, a couple of years ago, they opened up a pop-up, one of their cool Glossier pop-ups that they do, you know, town to town to town, that obviously didn't happen in 2020. They opened one in Austin when I was living in Austin, and I was the first non-employee to get to go and actually tour the space. And it was me and a couple of other influencers, and we were filming kind of B-roll for them to be able to use of us like going around and testing everything and enjoying it and whatever. And I had dyed my hair pink. I was just a whole vibe for that event. And it was, I didn't dye my hair pink for that event, but it was a look. And I just got in there and like was talking to all of the employees, and they were just like exactly how I thought they would be. They were like really cool, like New York girls, you know? And one girl was just like, I was like, hey, I'm Kaki. She goes, oh, I know who you are. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, you know, when you start working at Glossier, there are just, you know, reps that are known, like people know who that person is. And she's like, you're one of those people, like everybody knows who you are. And I was like, wow, that's so humbling. Like, welcome, Kaki's ego. It's really hard not to get an ego boost out of a comment like that. And it was just so incredibly humbling. I was like, I feel like I'm part of the family of this company, and it's a really cool kind of organic thing that's grown, you know, through both of us. And I genuinely loved the formulas and the products. And I was just so excited. It felt like such a positive experience, and I was just proud to be part of it. And, you know, contrast that against now, and I'm like, I raise my hand, and not even necessarily, I'm not proud to say that I didn't stand up and say like, oh, I need accountability. It was very much just like I need some advice, I need some help kind of thing in this email that I sent them. And I was genuinely like trying to tiptoe, which in hindsight probably didn't even matter. And I still feel like they pushed me out on an ice floe, you know? And I feel like maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know, I'm old. You know, for Glossier, I've definitely seen like Emily Weiss put Glossier on her mother. I don't think that I'm old by Glossier's standards. Anybody can use it, but like, I am 34, I am among the oldest of like the Glossier reps that I know. And it just feels like, it feels like I've been dismissed a little bit. I don't know. And, you know, I still love these products, and I still like genuinely care what Glossier does. I think that they do innovative hero products for a reason, and I keep buying them and I keep liking them. But I just like, I'm kind of like, hello. These are the things that I have noticed lately, but you know, live and learn, things grow, relationships grow together and grow apart. Who knows? Those are all of my thoughts. I just kind of wanted to like brain dump for you guys on like contextualizing Glossier in 2021 for me on my channel. So those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think down below, if I made any sense at all. And if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.